Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5 and we will present about asset valuation models and alternative profit determination. So before we start our presentation, we will introduce our group members today. For the first, Aulita Safitri Armida Putri, second, Claren Pravidya Deniswara, third, Hana Maulidina, fourth, Isanu Johanto, 5, Valentin Clara Valerie, and the last, Nida Nadia Zain.
The first material is the nature of the difference. In accounting is the recognition that assets and liabilities are not always measured in a single way. They can be measured using a variety of measurement attributes depending on the context, reporting objective, and nature of the transaction. There are four main attributes used, namely the first attribute is historical cost. Historical cost is the initial value of the asset when purchased based on actual transaction. For example, if a machine is purchased for 100 million rupiah, then its value is still recorded at that amount, regardless of whether the market value of the machine has increased or decreased subsequently. The second is net realizable value. Is an estimate of the net cash that will be received if the asset is sold after deducting selling costs. For example, goods that can be sold for 50,000 rupiah but cost 5,000 rupiah, then the realizable value is 45,000 rupiah. The third is replacement cost. Is the current cost to replace the asset with an equivalent new asset. For example, a car that was previously purchased for 150 million rupiah but now costs 200 million rupiah, then 200 million rupiah is the replacement cost. The last is present value. The present value of expected future cash flow calculated by discounting, suitable for assessing long-term liabilities such as pension or lease debt. Next is the classification of measurement attribute. The first one is time. Refers to when the value applies, whether it reflects the past, such as historical cost, current conditions, such as replacement cost, or future projection, such as present value. Each attribute has its own time focus. Next is type of transaction. The measurement attribute is also selected based on the type of transaction. For example, if an asset is sold, net realizable value is used. If it concerns the estimation of future cash inflows, present value is used. And then nature of initial event refers to the background or cause of the emergence of an asset or liability. For example, asset acquired through purchase or recorded at historical cost, while long-term liabilities can use present value. The next material is the measurement unit. The first unit of measurement is monetary unit or money. This is a measurement in nominal form, for example in rupiahs or dollars. This is often used in standard recording. And next, purchasing power units, used when financial statements are adjusted for inflation. So the monetary value used reflect real purchasing power, not just the nominal figure.
Next is the presentation of material on illustration of a different accounting model. The first is alternative accounting model expressed in unit of money. Basically describe a different approach in recording and presenting financial information of an entity. The first model that is most commonly used is historical cost accounting, or also known as conventional accounting. In this approach, assets and liabilities are recorded at cost, assuming that the value of money is stable over time. This model also relies on the matching principle, which match expense with revenue in the same period, as well as the realization principle, where revenue are only recognized when they are actually realized. Although this model is easy to understand and has been widely used, its weakness lies in the relevance of the information, especially in fluctuation economic conditions, as it does not takes into account change in the real value of money. This can lead to error in the timing and units of measurement in the financial statement. The second model is replacement cost accounting, which represents assets based on the current cost required to replace them. Although it is still used the assumption of stable monetary value and still follow the realization principle. This model begins to distinguish between operating profit and gain or loss arising from the ownership of asset. In fact, the distinction is also further separated into realized and unrealized. This model better reflects the actual value of asset, but it still has weakness in terms of unit measurement, and it's considered as mere number of dollars, while the number in the asset reflect more of the purchasing power or common of goods. Unfortunately, the relevant this purchasing power is limited to asset and does not cover the entire financial statement. The third model is net realizable value or NRV accounting. This model value asset based on the amount of net cash that could be obtained if the asset were sold today, this reflecting their true market value. Unlike the previous two models, this approach abandons the realization principle and is more predictive. In addition, this model also distinguishes between operating profit and gains or loss from asset ownership. The main advantage of the NRV model is the absence of timing error as the valuation, since it still assumes stable monetary units. I still contain error in the measurement of real money value. In practice, the net profit figure under the statement can be interpreted as an amount of money, while the asset value reflects purchasing power. This makes the information presented in the financial statement more relevant for decision making, especially regarding asset valuation. Overall, these three models have different approach and objective. Historical cost accounting emphasizes stability and ease of understand, but is less relevant in changing economic condition. Replacement cost accounting tries to accommodate change in asset value, but is still limited in its use. Meanwhile, the NRV model offers more relevant and up-to-date information, although it is more complex and challenging to implement. Furthermore, there are alternative accounting models that use the unit of the general purchasing power level to present financial statements that are more informative and realistic to dynamic economic conditions. The three main models recognized in this context are historical cost accounting adjusted to the general price level, replacement cost accounting adjusted to the general price level, and net realizable value accounting adjusted to the general price level. The first model, historical cost accounting adjusted to the general price level, still use historical cost as the basis of valuing assets and liabilities, but the figures are adjusted by general price indicators such as the CPI or Consumer Price Index in order to reflect change in the purchasing power of money. The model still holds to the matching principle, where revenue is matched with relevant expense, as well as the realization principle, which recognizes revenue only when it is actually realized, despite being adjusted for inflation. The model still contains timing error as asset value are based on specific price. However, since all data has been measured in common purchasing power unit, there is no error in measurement unit. The financial statement of this model can be reasonably interpreted only, although it is limited to the relevance of cost information only for cash element and monetary items such as assets and liabilities. The second model is replacement cost accounting that has been adjusted to the general price level. This model is more progressive as it uses replacement cost, which is how much it will cost to replace the asset today. This cost is then also adjusted to general price index. This approach still uses the realization principle and recognizes the separation or dichotomization between operating profit and real ownership gains or loss arising from change in asset value. In addition, this model also separates between realized and unrealized gains and loss. With this approach, the resulting financial statement still have the potential for timing error as replacement cost estimate can lag behind market dynamic. However, in terms of measurement, there is no error as all data is presented in uniform unit. The resulting value are also well interpretable and highly relevant for understanding cost in the context of input markets, the current price and production input.
Issues in financial reporting due to price level changes. Changes in price level like inflation distort financial report and reduce their accuracy and usefulness. Historical financial report fail to reflect real value during inflation or deflation. They record assets and costs at past prices, which no longer represent their current economic value. Financial information becomes slightly irrelevant and potentially misleading for decision making. That number can cause poor business decisions because they don't reflect true financial condition, cannot demonstrate the actual purchasing power of the entry. Financial report don't show how much value money has lost or gained, hitting real performance. Next solution, a process accounting for price level changes. First, general price level accounting. Adjust financial statements based on a general price index to reflect the effect of inflation on purchasing power. GLPA reflect the real economic value of asset and liability by restating historical costs to current price level. It gives a more realistic picture of financial position. GPLA improves comparability across time period. User can compare financial performance year to year without inflation distorting the features. GPLA enhances decision making by presenting more relevant information. It helps manager and investor make better choices using updated inflation adjusted data. Second, current cost accounting or CCA focus on following asset and expenses at their current replacement cost rather than historical cost. CCA reflects the current economic phase to replace assets, show how much it would cost today to replace an asset, giving a clearer view of financial reality. CCA better matches current revenue with a current cost. It improves income measurement by aligning expenses with the current environment. CCA is useful for internal planning and resource allocation. Manager get more accurate insight for budgeting, pricing, and capital investment. Next, GPLA versus CCA comparison. GPLA focuses on general inflation adjustment. It uses a per price index to restate historical values. CCA focuses on specific asset replacement cost. It updates values based on current market cost for each asset. GPLA is better for maintaining purchasing power. It's useful for stakeholders' interest in general financial stability. CCA is better for managerial decision, help assess current costs and guides operational strategy. Next, GPLA versus CCA comparison. GPLA focuses on general inflation adjustment. It uses a per price index to restate the historical values. CCA focuses on specific asset replacement cost. It updates value based on current market cost for each asset. GPLA is better for maintaining purchasing power. It's useful for stakeholders' interest in general financial stability. Or CCA is better for managerial decision, help assess current costs and guides operational strategy.
Alright, the next material is about basic accounting theory as a comparison tool. Accounting theory plays an important role in providing with a uniform basis for the preparation of financial statements. With standards such as PSAK or IFRS, companies from various sectors and regions can use consistent recording methods. This allows financial statements between entities to be compared objectively and consistently. The accuracy of the theory in providing this basis is very important so that financial analysis is not misleading and can reflect the real condition of the company. And slide is about accuracy of information for performance evaluation. Accounting theory also ensures that the information presented in financial statement is both relevant and reliable, which are two key qualities characteristic of useful financial information. This is essential because financial reports are not merely a formality. They are critical tools used by various stakeholders to assess a company's financial health, operational efficiency, and future prospects. Internal users like managers depend on accurate data for strategic planning and resource allocation, while external users such as investors, creditors, regulators, and analysts use use it to make informed decisions about investing, lending, or regulatory compliance. Without accuracy in the underlying accounting theory, financial statement risk becoming distorted or misleading. For instance, inconsistent revenue recognition or asset valuation practices can make a profitable company appear unprofitable or vice versa. A well-developed accounting theory provides clear guidelines and definitions, reducing ambiguity in financial reporting. It also enforces comparability and consistency across reporting periods, which is essential for trend analysis and performing benchmarking. Therefore, the role of accurate theory is not only foundational but also instrumental in ensuring that evaluation outcomes reflect the true economic condition of a business. Okay, next slide is about implication of theory accuracy in practice. The implication of accuracy in accounting theory extend far beyond the classroom or conceptual discussion. They directly affect the credibility, transparency, and accountability of real-world financial reporting. A company that applies accounting theory accurately is more likely to produce report that genuinely reflects its financial activities, reducing the risk of fraud, misstatement, or manipulation. This accuracy fosters trust among stakeholders, including shareholders, potential investors, government bodies, and the public at large. On the other hand, when inaccurate or outdated accounting theories are applied, the quality of financial information deteriorates. This can lead to poor investment decision, regulatory sanction, loss of investor confidence, or even financial scandals, as seen in cases like Enron or Lehman Brothers. Accurate accounting theory thus acts as a safeguard, creating a structural framework that aligns accounting practices with economic realities. Moreover, the dynamic nature of global business, such as the rise of digital assets, sustainability reporting, and international transactions, demands that accounting theory remains adaptive. Continuous refinement of accounting standards ensures that they stay relevant in the face of changing business models and emerging economic issues. In this way, theory not only guides current practice but also anticipates future challenge, reinforcing its crucial role in a well-functioning financial reporting system.
That's all for our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.